State of New California, notice to all Californians, grievance number 68. We are in Vista, California at the county courthouse. It is May 14, 2019. New California is a new state in development exercising its constitutional right to form from the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Sections 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Sections 3 and 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. New California Declaration of Independence, January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Preamble of the new California State Constitution states, we, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for the continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity. First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The counties of New California bring forward 95 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Grievance number 68, Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government is in direct violation of the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. United States Constitution, Article 6, Section 2. This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. United States Constitution, Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5. No person, except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution, shall be eligible to the office of President. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States. Keeping the president off the ballot is the order of the day. Blatant violations of the United States Constitution by the California Socialist governor and the Socialist legislature have become a regular and common occurrence. Enabled by an annual 11-month legislative cycle, the number of bills introduced into the legislature is not just staggering, but allows for a maximum violation of the United States Constitution. So it is the case with Peggy Grand wrote in a recent nationally syndicated article the following. The California State Senate approved a bill earlier this month to require candidates appearing on the 2020 presidential primary ballot, including President Trump, to release 5 years' worth of income tax returns. A timely and conveniently biased bill, which, if it becomes law, means that President Trump's name may not appear on the California primary ballot during the upcoming presidential election cycle. An egregious bill, since the United States Constitution clearly states there are only 3 requirements for holding the presidency. For California's Governor Gavin Newsom, ignoring the law has become a winning strategy. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the Constitution says to serve as president, one must be a natural-born U.S. citizen of the United States, be at least 35 years old, be a resident in the United States for at least 14 years. These requirements have been in place since George Washington became president, but all of a sudden a small group of legislators in the Golden State found a way to try and thwart the democratic process for voters in their state to ensure their team wins, as if the overwhelming Democratic voter registration, the dubious practice of ballot harvesting, and the fact that California hasn't voted for a Republican presidential candidate since George W. Bush in 1988 doesn't give them enough confidence that whoever the Democratic candidate is will likely carry California and its 55 electoral votes. I guess they don't feel they can leave anything to chance. If this bill passes now, it sets an extremely dangerous precedent for which the rights of the voter are hijacked. In essence, the legislature could determine their preferred candidate and ensure that the selection criteria for inclusion on the ballot excludes everyone except that person. Sound crazy? Well, California is just crazy enough to do that and has already started down that path. True representative government hasn't existed in California for quite a while. The jungle primary system, whereby voters can select any candidate regardless of party, allows the top 2 to advance to the general election. This provides a pathway for 2 Democrats to advance from the primary to the general election, in essence giving conservative voters in California the choice between 2 candidates, neither of which truly represent them. Article 4, Section 4 states, the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. A Republican form of government is what the government must guarantee to every citizen of the United States. The definition of republic refers specifically to a form of government in which elected individuals represent the citizen body and exercise power according to the rule of law under a constitution, including a separation of powers with an elected head of state referred to as a constitutional republic. In the words of the Declaration of Independence, governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Without that consent, governments are tyrannies, unjustly handing out penalties or sweetheart deals with the stolen power they have seized by force or manipulation. And that brings us to California. Obedience to the rogue government of California is disobedience to the United States Constitution. Insurrection. The government of California, the current socialist governor, and the monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is the United States federal law that governs the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion, acts of secession. Therefore, the California government, in conjunction with the socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor has usurped power, has created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America and thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the state and citizens of the United States living in California. Prayer. The citizens of New California State pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States citizens living in California State. This concludes these proceedings. NewCaliforniaState.com is the website. The phone number is 877-828-2753.